This movie is that awesome where I would have told the studio I'm going home at this point if it wasn't just such an awesome movie that I wanted people to see. I want people to see this movie so badly. It's so deserving to be seen that, you know, I'm out here, we're out here, killing it.
In police outfits.
Dressed like idiots, yeah.
Dressing more else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why was this
It's the first thing I get an Academy Award nomination, and the next thing I do is say, I'm going to dress like a moron every day for the next
It's not.
for the
It
next
totally
month.
works, though. Come on. Well, why was this movie something that was so important for you to be part of, and the script writing process?
I've been with this movie for 5 years. Actually, South by Southwest 5 years ago in this hotel is where I got a phone call asking me to adapt it, and started working on it in this hotel 5 years ago.
He had worked up a story with Michael Bacall, and he had written a script, and we read it, and we were like, this is insane. How would somebody pull this off?
And that's what usually gets us involved in movies.
Yeah.
We'll be going in as undercover high school students.
You have exceptional muscle tone there, young man. When'd you go through puberty? Like 7 or something?
The TV series, you know, it was an hour-long drama. And when I read the script, you know, it's an action comedy.
It's just something that I thought could be great. You know, I saw my version of adapting the show was Bad Boys meets a John Hughes movie.
What you took over was the title, and you took over the concept of young-looking cops going back to high school. But other than that, it's an action comedy that stands alone.
And Channing, you know, being my partner on this film, you know, made it all come together way better than I ever could have imagined from the beginning. This movie's great surprise is his performance, you know?
You know, it was scary, you know, for sure, but I think ultimately, just with anything, you really just gotta kind of put yourself out there.
I would say there's 3 big surprises in this movie. One is Channing Tatum is hilarious. 2 is there are some cameos from humans that were in the original 21 Jump Street, some of whom may or may not be the largest movie star in the world. And 3, the movie, despite being based on an 80s TV show, is actually not terrible.
It was awesome. I felt like I was young and cool for a little while. Just a little while. I always go, hey, what's going on, cruisers? And they go, we don't know what says cruisers.
How is digital changing how you approach filmmaking and content in the industry?
I think now more than ever we have a really clear line into the people that are actually watching the movies.
Yeah.
And you know, the more you can connect to them, I think the more that we can sort of tailor the stuff that we're making for them.
Jonah?
To me, when I was in high school and college and everything, we didn't know anything about movies before we saw them. I think it's too much access to knowing things about a film before you see it. I think people just go in and either enjoy it or don't and form their own opinion. And so I'm going with it. I think it's rad.
Those days are gone, my
Those
friend.
days are just gone. The bad part is that there's not a lot of surprise anymore, which sucks. You know, it does suck.
I do think that the fact that that comedians and writers are making their own material now, like the Lonely Island guys, it's really kind of kicked that off, and it's changed the film language a little bit because now it's in the hands of weird, nerdy writer types.
I encourage everyone to go out. I work on these with my best friends that I've known since middle school, and it's we have full creative control over it, and you can put it up on websites like Funny or Die. And the crazy thing is, if you have a video on that site that happens to be a success, more people could potentially see it than if you did an independent movie, which is crazy these days.
I did the guy who shot Bin Laden on Funny or Die.
Yeah,
I get more people talking to me about that than some of the major films.
Exactly,
so.
exactly.
It's awesome! Yeah!